As we gear up for the upcoming annual budget of 2023, it's important to understand what to expect and how leaders can prepare for it. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the SpeakIn Podcast. I'm Anika Atwal from SpeakIn, Asia's largest digital campus for professional learning via one-on-one coaching and group speaker sessions. In today's discussion, we have with us Mr. Girish Vanvari to help us understand key aspects to expect in the budget. Even before we start the discussion, let me introduce Girish very quickly. Girish is a true blue champion of ethical tax practices and professional integrity in the global tax ecosystem. Girish comes with over 28 years of consulting experience and is a founder of Transaction Square, which is a tax regulatory and business advisory firm. Prior to starting this professional services company, Girish had 13 years with KPMG and was in fact responsible for establishing and building the M&A tax business of KPMG India. He was the national leader for tax at KPMG India in his last serving role there. Welcome, Girish. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
Girish, my first question to you is, what can the salaried professionals expect from the upcoming budget?
I think lots. The inflation has taken toll on the salaried professional. So if you look at the interest rates, EMIs have gone up, housing loans are looking more expensive, car loans have gone up. And really, if you look at the last changes in the personal tax regime happened way back in 2013-14. Since then, there have been no change in slabs. So really, 3-4 expectations, I would think. First is they're expecting the slabs to go up because it's been a while. Second, they're expecting, concessions for housing, the deductibility for housing to go up so that people could go out and meet their aspirations of buying a house. Third is small savings. Small savings is very important for the capital formation, for the infrastructure built up this country needs. So even if you increase the small savings rate, which is ATC, by say 50,000 rupees per person, the total collection in the whole sector works out to around 70 to 80,000 crores. So a small change there can have a cascading effect. And the fourth thing the salaried classes are eagerly awaiting is this new scheme for taxation of employees, which came in around a couple of years back. There have been not too many takers of that because that takes away a lot of exemptions. There's a big ask that should be relooked, revamped, something more plausible, something more attractive should come in. So actually, if you ask me, rather than corporates, all eyes on this budget is on the individual.
Yes, I completely reckon with what you're saying. Girish, that brings me to the next question. You spoke about corporate. So let's talk about what the SMEs can expect, the small and medium enterprises. What do you think they can expect from the upcoming budget?
I think the Indian tax rates are comparative now across the world. So SMEs will not expect any tax concessions. SMEs will look at 2-3 different dimensions. One are the policy initiatives, which is the subvention schemes. A second is the, some sort of a concession, like a PLI is for the big people, but some sort of a concession to make SMEs manufacture more, produce more. And third, and the more important thing is the GST glitches. SMEs are really struggling the GST glitches. So if you put the policy initiatives to further the sector, if you put the GST glitches, that's what they would be expecting.
Okay. That's a good point, Girish, over there. Girish, we've spoken about the SMEs, so have to talk about the startups. Tell me, according to you, what do you think the startups can expect? Do you think the ease of business will be addressed?
See, I think the ease of business is already there. Startup is facing a different challenge today, which is the global correction. So how to make startup profitable is what the goal of any startup is today, and not tax concessions. Having said that, there's one unfinished agenda. And that unfinished agenda is taxation of stock options for people in the startup ecozone. So the taxation of stock options should not happen at the time of grant, but at the time of eventual sale. So right now it is grant, exercise, sale. Taxation event happens at the time of exercise and not at the time of sale. So deferment of taxation of ESOPs to the sale is something which is a long pending ask. And second is to incentivize the founders of startups who've got very diluted in their companies because of fundraise, a mechanism to help them shore up their shareholding without a heavy tax burden. Is the second thing which startups will expect. And the last thing, the
Interesting.
most important thing is that it's a policy thing, not a tax thing, is cross-border mergers, which is permissible, but there are no tax concessions. So is it time now to let an Indian startup list overseas or vice versa? Is there a bigger change required in the tax laws to facilitate this, free movement of listing from India or overseas and vice versa?
Very interesting. Girish, my last question to you is what, according to you, what role will the G20 play? What do you think any special allocations can be expected?
It is irrelevant, actually. I think G20 is more decorative. It does not help in the larger picture. It is good to know India is relevant. That's the only role it has. But the budget is really a watch between growth and fiscal deficit. So that is independent of G20. That's independent of the global power India has. So how much growth will we want to aspire, controlling inflation, and at the same time, how much is the fiscal deficit we got to live with? Because if fiscal deficit is more, interest rates will be more, and the growth will get hampered. So that's the crux. I don't think G20 impacts the budget at all.
Very interesting. Thank you, Girish, for sharing your keen observations and insights with us. Thank you to all the listeners for your engagement and active listening. Keep following us for more such perceptive insights on latest industry trends. Good day and see you next time.